welcome to the channel. My name is Yvonne, and today I would like to share with you some thoughts about mind, body, and soul, and why I call them the mighty trio. Fantastic. And I call them the mighty trio because they are interconnected all the time. Our minds, our bodies, our emotions, the soul, and they have an effect or an impact on one another, and that affects our lives in many different ways. The famous saying, a healthy mind in a healthy body, comes originally from the Latin, mens sana in corpore sano. And that was found in an ancient poem written by Juvenal, a Roman poet. It has been in use since those times, since Roman times. You know, scientists, doctors, sociologists, philosophers use it a lot, okay? And what he intended was to send a message where he expresses that it is important to have physical activity as part of our mental and emotional well-being. But it also can work, in reverse. I consider mind, body, and soul the three pillars of human sustainability. They're really a roller coaster of sensations and emotions and states of mind that fluctuate constantly. And they provoke mental, physical, and emotional changes in all of us. Some more significant than others, depending on your circumstances and what's happening to you, at different times during the day, during your life. Today, I will talk about the mind more than anything and share with you some of the small habits, the simple steps that I have developed to help me with my own mental well-being. I will talk about body and soul in later videos, okay? Because the mind is very, very extensive. Okay, now we can find lots of articles, podcasts, YouTube, videos, you name it, about mental health and ways to help keep your mind active and even help delay the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's, I have read. Very interesting. Activities such as puzzles, crosswords, learning a new language, learning a new skill that requires your concentration and focusing is very good for us all, and I myself follow some of them. However, I have developed a few simple mini habits, if you want to call them that way, of my own, that I will share with you and invite you to try them and see how that works for you. They may be good, they may be not important, they may not make any difference to you. They have worked for me, so that's why I want to share them. And the first one is, it has related to mathematics and numbers, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing without the use of a calculator and without writing down the operations. Just force your mind to work it out. I remember once I went to the supermarket with cash in hand to pay. This was before, all this new technology about cards and swiping and, pressing. And I looked at the screen to see the total of my shopping, and it was about $26.80 or something like that. And I handed a $50 bill to the cashier, and I told her, you need to give me back $23.20. She looked at her screen and asked me, how did you do that? I laughed, of course, and explain that I was a baby boomer. And throughout my school days, we had to memorize every single thing we did in school with our mathematics from the very beginning, learning the tables, the multiplying tables, the addition tables. And we did, I saw, it was, I think, year 11, when I was about 16 years old, that for the first time, a calculator, an electronic calculator, was allowed in the classroom. And that changed a lot of things. It made things so much easier, but it kept us from thinking. And this is my point. So this is a habit I practice on a daily basis. With small money amounts, for example, I also look at my bank statement and, on payday, for example, and I read the balance and I add up all the bills that I will have to pay in the next fortnight before the next payday. But I do this mentally. I do not write it down. I force myself to think, not only memorize, but only to recall the information and bring it into my head without any other tools or, that may help me. And, it feels like cheating, just about cheating on yourself. Okay, so really what it does is just force you to concentrate and focus on the numbers and to add them up. And it is a very helpful thing to do because it keeps your mind very alert, and your brain reacts very quickly with, especially with small amounts. We're not trying to think about, what's the 55.5% of 1,000,000.3 barrels of oil. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to keep an active, slow, easy way to stimulate our brain into thinking. Okay, so let me look at my notes here because I had something interesting to tell you. Okay. All right. So, well, yes, that's what I do with numbers, among other things. I do other things as well, but I won't include them all here because the video will go forever. The second helpful habit for me is to keep a mental tally of important birthdays, anniversaries, telephone numbers, passwords, addresses, appointments to keep. And every month, when I start my new calendar page, when I open on the first day of the month, I make an effort to remember all those dates without writing them down, okay? Because I need to stimulate my brain. That pattern of repetition, of course, helps me memorize better. Many people do not even remember their own phone numbers. I do mine because I have to give it out constantly, and that helps. And it is the repetition. So things sometimes click automatically on your brain because you have practiced them so much that it helps the memory side of it if you want to. Okay, so most of the minor calculations that we need to do, I try not to write them down. I force myself until I can really not come to the result I want. Okay, but those small operations keeps your brain active and responsive as well. Now the third and last little mental habit has to do with your keys, your glasses, your daily medication, the shopping list, the wallet, road directions, for example. And even though the GPS on your phone can be very helpful, try at the same time to pay attention to the routes that you follow, especially the regular ones to begin with, and read the names of the streets and keep an eye on any referential points like a church, a shopping center, etc. that will help you remember how to go through that same route again. And if you do it aloud, oh, much better. So you can go driving and saying the names of the streets aloud. Eventually that helps quite a bit to bring back to memory the route you're following. Also, before walking out the door, stop and think if you have with you everything you need, the car and house keys, your phone, your reading glasses, your medication list if you have an appointment with a doctor, your bank cards. And, you know, it's also very helpful to have a list, even if it is a small one, of the things that you need to buy that day, you know, when you go out, and stick to them. But try to remember when you go into the supermarket, all the things that you can recall from that list. When you think you have finished your shopping, take a look at your list finally. Bring it out and look at it. You'll be surprised, actually. It is surprising to find out that you remember most of the things because you concentrated when you were creating the list, and you concentrated while you were in the supermarket and didn't allow yourself to be distracted by other things. So that's very helpful with remembering things and keeping the brain working and responding, which is what we want. So planning ahead is a very helpful way to eliminate the stress and the confusion and feel relaxed about everything you're going to be doing as you programmed it. Okay. Of course, I could add so much more to this list. There are many other things that we can do, and there'll be a second video. My next video is going to be, you know, about the mind still. We have quite a bit to talk about and things that I would like to put out to you and see what you think. Okay. So for now, what I would like to do is invite you to put into practice these 3 little habits on a regular basis for a few days and see if it works or not for you, especially if you tend to lose things inside your own house, if you tend to arrive at a place and open your bag and realize that you forgot this or that. If somebody asks you about something, you have to struggle to, you know, remember the name, the number, the address or whatever, and then you have to fumble on your phone or call somebody for help. So make an effort to concentrate and force your mind to go in the direction you need it to go. The brain is very smart. It keeps it all in. So it is there. Just recall it and bring it to life. Once you master them, you know, and they turn into an automatic response, you will not need to think about them anymore. You know, it's just natural. It's like an automatic response. Sometimes we drive to places without even thinking where we're going because we've gone so much to that place that it is something natural without any planning, without any paying attention to it. We simply arrive there, and that's something we do every day or 3 times a week. And that's why it makes it easy. So I will leave you for now. I hope you can practice some of those little things, your numbers, your dates, your appointments, your birthdays, and little things to help keep your mind pedaling. And don't forget your comments. They're very welcome. I look forward to hearing and reading what you can say and contribute to the channel because everybody has fantastic ideas and opinions about everything we talk about here, and I can learn quite a bit. You know, there's always something new, something different that I can learn and absorb from anybody and put it into practice myself. Okay, so for now, I'll wish you a happy thinking, a good experimentation with all this, and look forward to talking to you in the next video next week. We'll continue talking about mind, but from a different perspective. Something very lovely, actually. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.